course, Ravens Commanders coming up tomorrow afternoon in the preseason finale. And this was like a genuine joy for me as I was looking at the Commanders roster this week and getting ready for this. And I said, holy crap, I can't believe I had no idea this next guy, our next guest, was a Commander. Years ago, he began his career as a Baltimore Raven, and he came on with us a bunch. He was one of my favorite people. Mr. Trenchwork himself, now Commanders defensive lineman, Carl Davis, back with us now
How
here
we
on
doing?
GCR. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm great, man. Can't complain. How's everything going over there?
Dude, everything is good here. Everything, I mean, you know how it is. Baltimore's a special place, right? Like,
Absolutely.
life is good, man. Life is good. Dude, if I had told you, let's go back, right? If I told
Uh
you, and I know you, look, you were a hell of a player coming out of college. You were a high draft pick.
huh.
But,
Mhm.
dude, people don't last a decade in the NFL. It just doesn't work that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What does this mean to you to be at the decade point that you have beaten the odds of so many guys and you have been able to prove and have that staying power to stay in the league this long?
Man, honestly, it means a lot. Honestly, my family, they always talk about how resilient I am. And, for me, I just take things, a day at a time. You know what I mean? Next, the months go by and I just always keep working and always preparing for that, whatever it is. If I have a opportunity or whatever the next opportunity is, and I'll just keep preparing and keep trying to make sure I'm ready. And, I just kept going and I'm still here.
All
You know
right.
what I mean? And to be able to look up, after all these years and honestly to be back in the DMV, it's really special for me.
It's cool, man. It's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
have you been able to reconnect with anybody just being close by?
Not really. I've been trying to stay locked
Yeah, I
in. You
get
know
it.
what I
You
mean?
got,
So
yeah,
I
you got
just
to make
been,
sure you
yeah.
got, you're right. I get it.
Let me say this. Let me say this because last year when I got here, I did go up to Jimmy Seafood.
I
I did pay
mean,
them a visit. I had to.
dude, and I bet they took care of you well, right?
Oh, they took care of me.
It's
They always take
amazing,
care of me.
right? It's amazing how they don't forget,
Yeah,
dude. Like they don't forget at
dude, they're
all.
really family.
Yep.
They're really family, and like the just their overall service from the first time I went there. Like, I just came in there regular. I didn't tell anybody, whatever, and they just showed me so much love. And so I mean, I love that place. And whenever I get a chance, if I get an off day, I try to sneak away
That's
and get up
dope, man.
there.
It's wild. You said my wife, like we don't live anywhere nearby. We live in like northern Baltimore County. We are nowhere close.
Uh huh.
But my wife, like
Right.
every couple of weeks, is just like we're going because she knows the moment we show up, like John's gonna see her and he's gonna take care. She's
Uh
gonna get her dessert. He's gonna. I'm like, God, it's the way it's gonna go, and it's gonna be
huh.
great.
Yeah.
Like it's just the way that it works, man. But that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Carl, what do you think the difference is? Why do you think it is that you've been able to have this staying power to remain in the league this long?
Um. I would have to be honest with you. Some of it is a little bit of luck,
Okay.
and some of it is my work ethic, and also I think how I present myself too. I definitely take pride in being a pro, and taking care of my work, and people know what they get when I walk in, and I just try to continue to be the same person every day, and work my ass off. Honestly, you know what I mean. So I don't take it for granted. It's a blessing and an opportunity anytime as a at any age, but especially as a 30 plus year old man to keep continuing playing the child's game. It's really a blessing and have fun. I was able to play last year in the NFC Championship, and that was just an amazing
Right.
opportunity for me. And I had so much fun being out there, and especially this the trajectory of this team right now, and just being able to play for Dan Quinn again because I had him in Dallas, and just the way this whole organization is just amazing, honestly. And just to be here right now, what I'm saying, going on year 11 this season is really amazing, honestly.
I've talked about this with a few guys. Kyle Van Noy
Yeah,
would be one that I've talked about this with, right? Where like I think people,
yeah, yeah,
I know you guys were together in New England, right?
yeah, exactly.
100%. So I feel like there's this inclination that people have that when you get to a certain point in your career, your drive might not be the same as it was when you were younger. But a lot of guys that I
Yeah,
talk to are like, it's the exact opposite of that. Like
yeah,
you get to this place in your career, and whether it's maybe a guy like you who hasn't been able to win a Super Bowl yet and you're still striving, or
yeah,
just the desire to stay, to keep going, do you
yeah.
feel like the drive is maybe even greater than it was when you came into the league?
The drive is definitely great. I'm just
Yeah.
competitive, man. I honestly, so number one, I love football.
Yeah.
It's been good to me. It's taken me all over the country, in some cases overseas to play football. You know what I mean? It's just been a blessing. And being able to be in a locker room and be able to hang out with these guys. I hear so many guys that retired, like, man, I miss the locker room. They don't say they necessarily miss practice, but they like that locker room feeling, just being around, their brothers and just being able to be free. You know what I mean? There's no place like a locker room. You know what I mean? And guys, the topics that come up, and just being able to share like a common bond with your brothers in there for that time. And so for me, it's just being able to obviously still be able to compete. And when you get upper age, they always say, oh, he's getting older, and they they always try to throw that tag.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, as long as the guy is able to play and he shows he can play, football is football. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's all it is for me, and just kind of continue to try to prove myself. I have something to prove every day. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to prove stuff right now, and I'm I think I'm just that type of person. Even when football is done, I'm still just trying to prove myself in whatever business or whatever I get into.
That's awesome, man. Carl Davis with us here on GCR. Carl, you were around some special people in Baltimore when you started your career, right? I know most,
1,000%.
very few of them are still playing in Baltimore. Like, it is crazy how quickly things change. But what did those years at the start of your career? What did being around? Were there lessons that you learned from any of those guys that maybe you've carried with you that you feel like are a part of why you've been able to do this for so
long? One of the fun things, one of the fun and most amazing people that I've been around in that Ravens organization, it was Terrell Suggs.
Yeah.
And his IQ of the game. And then also, he's just a funny dude. I mean, that dude in the locker room, he's hilarious. You know what I mean? A hell of a personality, but a hell of a player, too. And just was a good example for guys. And, when we watch film and he'd come in and he's like, you guys don't see this? You know what I mean? And just being able to point stuff out and just kind of help guys with their IQ of the game. So that's one of the guys, for me, that was like a great teammate for me.
That's huge, man. That's huge. There's no doubt about it. You now you show up in Washington last year. You bring it up, right? Like, this is a special time there. This is there's something happening. There's a quarterback who is that kid is special. And
100%.
We know a thing or two about special quarterbacks here in Baltimore. What did you feel immediately when you got there? When you showed up, did you know like there's something really special happening with this group?
Yeah. So for one, I knew what type of person that Dan Quinn was.
Yeah.
And I had him in Dallas, and so when I knew he was here and he gave me an opportunity to come here, like, I knew it was going to be something, because I know how much detail he puts in and how much he builds like a brotherhood. And that's what this whole team. When you walk in from day one here, when I walked in here, and I knew some guys, I didn't know everybody. But everybody is really a brotherhood over here. And it's not just something that you say. You hear that in the locker room sometimes, but over here, it's like, no, we really take care of each other. And it's a true brotherhood, from rookie to 15 years. It doesn't matter. Everybody talks to everybody, and we treat each other like that.
Man, tell me about Jayden, though. Like, because we had to actually, he came on the show with us not that long ago. And I couldn't have liked him anymore. This actually kills me, Carl, because deep within my soul, when we were kids here, we hated Washington. Like, we hated everything about it. And like, the last ownership wasn't so great, so it was easy for everybody to hate him. Now, like, in a weird way, I feel like your club has become like America's darlings, because there is such a like, I get such Lamar vibes from Jayden Daniels, just like such a good dude, so incredibly talented. What has been how much have you been impressed by him? What impresses you most about that young man?
I mean, his composure. His composure is amazing, especially last year as a rookie, and the situations, he doesn't get rattled. Like, I mean, I seen him take a big hit on the sideline in Tampa, and he just got up, and kept on rolling. I mean, it's some guys that get in those situations, and and honestly, it's in a lot of quarterbacks reports. Hey, if you hit this guy, he's going to throw some interceptions, and it's not the case with this guy. He's locked in. He's very mentally strong. His IQ of the game is high. You can just tell, about the throws he makes in practice and the decisions that he makes. And I just think he's a very sound quarterback. But his work ethic is high too. He's definitely like really one of the first ones in the building. When I come in, I see him, and he's always here working, and honestly, he's special, man. I'm glad to be here during this time.
Man, that's cool. That is cool. Look, I can root for you guys to be happy like every day but one. Like, I can root for all of that all season long. Carl, remind people.
Let me guess, that's Saturday, huh?
Let's make it happen, right? So let's get to this, because I wish I could find where it was. I know Glenn Eunice and I bought Trenchwork T-shirts years ago. I know we had them. Remind everybody what trench work is, the mentality that it's been for you, and I feel like it sort of speaks to what it was that you were talking about why you've been able
Yeah.
to withstand for so long.
Yeah, man. So trench work is just a mentality of just being resilient. It doesn't matter if you're a garbage man or a CEO of a company. You know what I mean? Everybody has to put in their work. Everybody has to get on the line. No matter how good you did last time, no matter how bad you did last time, you always got to line up for the next play. And that's the line. That's honestly offensive defensive line play. It's in the trenches. You know what I mean? You might get beat one play, you might beat the guy the next play, but the next play is always coming. And that's what trench work is all about. And yeah, I had some hoodies back then. I kind of discontinued it a little bit, but if people hit me up and ask for one, I definitely I send some out from here and there. But yeah, that's basically what trench work is about.
Man, I love everything. I feel like you can't come from the University of Iowa without embracing the suck a little bit. Like I feel
Hey,
like,
yeah.
that,
Hey, listen.
like
Iowa was what kind of created that mentality
right?
for me because it was such a grind. Like I remember it was one workout we did we did 100 squats of half our maxes. And I'm talking about guys like
Oh,
grown men in there, 300 pounds,
oh.
you know what I mean, for 100 reps, just in there for an hour and a half, just squatting away. And it was a grind, man, honestly. And then, guys could barely walk upstairs, his knees just wobbling, you know what I mean? But,
but,
but
but
it was a
bro,
mentality like,
how are you gonna
like for
win a
real.
6-3 football game if you can't do that?
So yeah, so yeah, think about you trying to walk up some stairs to go to the dorms after doing 100 squats and
Oh
stuff. But
God, man.
it just kind of it was rough, but it made us tougher, and I feel like that was an edge for us to help us compete. Honestly, what I mean, we just kind of had that dog mentality, and so that's where kind of the trench work mindset was born for
I
me.
love that, man. I love that so much. Trenchwork
Yeah, man.
94. That's how you follow him on both
Yep.
Twitter and Instagram, correct?
Yes, sir.
And everybody's
Absolutely.
good, family good, everything.
Everybody's good, man. A lot has changed since I've been in Baltimore.
I
I got a wife and two kids now,
It's
so
awesome, man.
two little beautiful girls. So life is good, man. I can't complain.
Dude, I'm so happy for you. Like
Man, I
legitimately.
appreciate you, man.
Dude,
I
you have
can hear it in your voice, and I
cut.
appreciate
This
that.
is so genuine, man. I apologize. I didn't realize that you had signed last year. This it made my day. Like to find out
My
that
man.
you were still kicking ass because you're such a good dude, man, and I love everything about the way that you play the game. And I'm really happy for you, brother. It's awesome that you're thriving. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday and all season long. Carl Davis, thank you for taking the time for us this morning, man. We really appreciate
Absolutely. And I hope I see you at Jimmy Seafood sometime.
it. My man.